you saw them on the screen. Those statistics alarming. Overall, eggs have caused more food poisoning outbreaks across the country than anything else.
So tonight, one group is calling for government action, and people in Connecticut, they are heeding the warning. NightBEAT reporter Terzi Martinez talked to some of them tonight.
Over easy.
But if you like your eggs this way, you are taking a risk. So says the Center for Science in the Public Interest.
Consumers need to be aware that any egg that they purchase potentially could be contaminated.
In fact, during the last 15 years, eggs have become increasingly infected with salmonella, causing hundreds, even thousands of deaths annually. Now the group is calling on the United States government to require safe handling labels like this one on egg cartons and better egg inspection. It's a new kind of approach.
Well, I think that's a good idea, so people are more aware.
First, egg producers test baby chicks to make sure they're free of salmonella. They also try to keep rodents out of hen houses. Rodents can spread the bacteria into feed. Then they test grown chickens and eggs, and any positive eggs are pasteurized to make them safe. It's cut salmonella dramatically.
It's taken us from where, we first started testing, we found ourselves at approximately 38% of all our flocks were positive, down to less than 3% today.
There's a push to require nationwide testing, but Congress stopped funding it at the request of the egg industry. The egg industry says producers are already voluntarily applying the lessons learned and have been considering safe handling labels themselves.
If people are fearful of eggs, that is not in our best concern. And therefore we've taken, I think, extraordinary steps to reduce the overall risk.
Earlier this week, the White House announced plans to improve egg safety, but critics say they don't go far enough. In Hamden, I'm Terzi Martinez, Channel 3 Eyewitness News, NightBEAT.
In the meantime, the health experts suggest that you keep your eggs cold, you never eat them raw, cook them well, and do not mix them until you're ready to cook them.
On the Health Beat tonight, a new study that shows children are twice as likely as adults to be killed by a car while riding a bike. A report released today shows an average of 840 cyclists are killed and another 75,000 injured each year over the past decade. Those wanting more money for bicycle safety programs and safe places to ride voiced their opinions at the Capitol today.
If 840 people had died in an airplane crash, there would have been the mother of all news conferences covering it. But they didn't die in a single airplane crash. They died one by one on bicycles across this country, not just last year, but every year over the past several years.
Right now, there is a proposal before Congress to cut bike safety program funding in half.
If you were angry at the backup in our courts, you can thank the people who filed the frivolous lawsuits for some of the problem, and many of those lawsuits start in Connecticut's prisons. Despite a grievance system, inmates file hundreds of suits against the state every year. And as Jeff Cole shows us in this I-Team investigation, some of the cases are very startling.
Daniel Webb is a murderer who sits on death row for the brutal slaying of a bank executive. He sued the state for the right to leave his cell to kiss his dead mother goodbye.
Last week, the state said no, a murderer has no fundamental right to kiss his dead mother's body. But Daniel Webb is not the only inmate to sue. Want to know how many prisoners sue the state? Look here.
This is a list of some 700 inmate lawsuits pending against Connecticut and its taxpayers. While some of the lawsuits make serious claims like brutality, many, if not most, say critics, are frivolous and costly.
Those kinds of filings, hundreds of them, are not without their costs, and they divert resources that really ought to go to make the criminal justice system work better.
How frivolous? Inmate Alan Perkins is suing because he says the prison water causes bumps on his skin. Inmate Jermaine Fuller claims his civil rights were violated when he was denied a bottom bunk. 4 inmates are suing to reestablish smoking at a state prison, claiming a ban is cruel and unusual punishment. Inmate Stanley Chance is suing for $100 grand because no one fixed his overbite, and inmate Lawrence Cosano claims his civil rights are being trampled on because he can't get mineral oil for his dry skin.
One of the more amazing inmate lawsuits we found is this one just filed. Inmate Justin Davila is suing because the Cheshire prison occasionally serves chocolate milk, which he claims he's allergic to, and he doesn't want to drink water.
Attorney General Blumenthal wants inmates to pay just like everyone else every time they file a lawsuit. But Attorney Sidney Shulman argues most inmates simply don't have any money. That's why the state will pay Shulman $750,000 this year to provide legal assistance to inmates.
The Supreme Court has said that inmates have to have at least access to court to redress any grievances that they may have, just like you and I, just like anybody else.
And this urgency to reform, says the Attorney General. The federal government has limited the number of suits inmates can file, so there may be more pressure on the state courts. Jeffrey Cole, Channel 3 Eyewitness News on the Night Beat, Hartford.
And right now, a bill forcing inmates to pay something when they file lawsuits is moving through the legislature.
And we'll let you know how it progresses straight ahead here on Eyewitness News tonight. Porn king or free speech advocate? Well, it looks as though people here have made up their minds. We're going to show you Larry Flint's latest publicity stunt.
And coming up on sports, a big Hartford welcome home for two of Connecticut's favorite NBA stars. Joe has it on Channel 3 Eyewitness News. There they are. Stay with us, please.
Eyewitness News Night Beat continues with a look at some comfortable temperatures and an active weather system just to our southwest. Right now at the Channel 3 New England Weather Service in Hartford, 55 at Channel 3 in Hartford on 3 Live WeatherNet. And in Milford, we've got 57 degrees, and statewide, here's the way it plays out. 51 degrees at the Torrington Country Club in Goshen, 53 in Storrs, and 54 in Waterford. And look at our highs today. The high temperatures you see here today were right on the money, right where they should be. Normal high for this time of the year is 71 degrees. Normal low is 47. By the way, the sunshine right now, because of the angle of the sun and the length of the day, is stronger than it is in August. So we're going to be warming up. Matter of fact, record highs over parts of the northwestern United States this afternoon. Here's where the real heat is, because of a big high-pressure ridge in the upper atmosphere to the west. We've got a warm front pushing toward us, and it's touching off some showers and even thunderstorms this evening to our southwest. So that's why there's a chance of showers from this weather front as it pushes toward us. And then tomorrow morning, partly sunny skies. As the front moves through, chance of an afternoon thunderstorm. So your forecast tonight calls for increasing clouds with a chance of a shower. A few showers around, 48 to 53. For tomorrow, look for partly sunny, breezy with afternoon thunderstorms, 68 to 73. And the 5-day planner calls for bright weather Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And Monday, well, compared to what we've had, that looks piping hot.
Yeah, looking forward to Monday. Thank you, Hilton.
Well, this might just have been one of his most challenging roles yet. Actor Danny Aiello, who played the head of the fictional Claire Cusio crime family in the miniseries here on CBS and Channel 3, The Last Don. Aiello says he was a bit concerned about comparisons with Marlon Brando, who you'll remember was the original movie Godfather. But he overcame the stigma and talked about his character.
His hope is to someday his entire crew of people disappear into the lawful world and enjoy their wealth without fear.
Reportedly, 26 Cosa Nostra families operating throughout the United States these days, according to authorities, the 5 major ones based in New York.
I hear the movie was good. I recorded it tonight.
Lucky you.
I won't tell you the end.
Yeah, don't tell me. It's time for the Night Beat Sports.
Yeah, we have Joe Tessitore here on deck with a look at what's ahead.
Well, up next, was it the NBA or the WWF? The Knicks find themselves in the middle of a battle. We're not talking about a hoop war. This was a battle royal. Forget jerseys and shorts. These guys could have used shoulder pads and boxing gloves. We'll explain. Plus, a big welcome back. Connecticut's NBA favorites return home for the summer. Ray Allen and Vin Baker are living large. Night Beat Sports is next. For any well-coached team, playing the best basketball is playing your style of basketball. The New York Knicks have done just that for the entire NBA playoffs, and it's paid off well. Tonight they had a chance to close out Pat Riley's Miami Heat Game 5, but Sean Leonard, the Heat were dropping them all night. End of the game, though, absolute bedlam. The Heat were up big after a Charles Oakley ejection. Look at this. P.J. Brown with the hip toss against Charlie Ward, and the rest is pure mayhem. Took a couple of minutes to clear it up. The only thing that was cleared up for sure is this is the final score. Miami 96, New York 81, Game 6, Friday at New York. While the NBA playoff party was going on in Miami, the NBA welcome back party was going on in downtown Hartford. We had the chance to say great year to the big Bucks. Hometown heroes Ray Allen and Vin Baker were looking great and glad to be back. Here's your Milwaukee, Connecticut connection.
I've seen people here and there, but to get reacquainted with all the people in Hartford and just the state of Connecticut, I mean, this is a great place to do it.
Well, everyone doesn't get this opportunity in the NBA to play on the same team, live within 45 minutes of each other, and play in the same college, in the same state, in the same college. So it was just great, and it's a lot of fun to have everyone come out and support us.
It was just great. A proposal from Foxwoods to move the New England Patriots to Connecticut is still under consideration, but Pats owner Bob Kraft testified today that Foxborough is the primary site and leading contender for the new stadium. Hey, let's check in with the Mets, winners of 4 straight, still hosting Houston. Jeff Bagwell, you see him there. This is the only score of the game in the 9th. Craig Biggio's sac fly. The Mets streak is over with 1 stroke of the bat. 1-zip Houston, only 13,000 at the game. Yanks, Twins, and Tino Martinez does it again. Are you kidding me? Rocks the Twins with this shot. Folks, 16 homers already for Tino. Yanks were 1 out away from a loss, but oh no, Paul O'Neill.
Right center field.
The ground rule double gets the job done. They tied up at 5 to extra innings. We go in the 12th power time for O'Neill. Big Paul jacks it out. Yankees get it done. 6-5, your final in 12. Doc Gooden, by the way, will pitch Sunday at New Haven in rehab. Red Sox losers of 5 straight at Kansas City. Tied at 1s in the 7th, Jose Offerman gets the game winner, the double off Kerry Lacy. He's the pride of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Not too proud there. 2 runs come in to score. The floodgates open up. 6-2, Kansas City blows them away. Sox have lost 6 straight. Ray and Vin, good to see you tonight. You guys have
really
a good time there?
Really nice.
It was really nice time. You should have had some OJ and some vitamin C there, though. Maybe a nice big box of Kleenex for you there, Gail.
See, we're saying, did you say Doc Gooden's going to be in New Haven? Yes, you did.
Yes, he is, Sunday.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Before we leave you tonight, we want to show you someone who is jumping for joy.
Yeah, it's Preakness week, and it's time for the annual Preakness Frog. The story's on the newsreel coming up next. There's a familiar face to kick off our NightBEAT newsreel. 20 years ago, Hustler magazine publisher Larry Flint faced obscenity charges in Cincinnati. Now today, his triumphant return with a crowd of hundreds on hand. His sex magazine hasn't been sold since 1977. Even though many people were holding up money today, Flint handed out free copies.
Tom and Jerry move over. This real-life cat and rat team appear to be getting along better than their cartoon counterparts. Seems the Kansas City kitten decided to have a pet of its very own and now snuggles nightly with a little rat.
This frog here is no prince or princess, but you might call Daisy the queen of the broad jump. She's the winner of the Preakness for Frogs. Jumped 7 feet 8 inches. Now her 4-year-old owner is a happy camper and gaining a slot in some national competition, too.
I think frogs are really creepy looking, don't you?
Yeah, they are creepy.
They can jump.
Good night.
Take it easy.
Special Ed, the high cost to your school, tonight at 11.